To begin your corsages, you start with making your paper flowers. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to measure out 5 to 6 inch strips of crepe paper. It doesn't have to be exact. It's not these are not going to be perfect by no means, so you can just measure out, and get a good estimate and go from there. You're going to need to start out 4 to 5 strips of paper depending on how many petals you want to have. I prefer to use 4, and then you're going to measure out a 6-inch piece and a 2-inch piece. This is going to be the center of your flower. Set that to the side for now and bring back your 5 to 6 inch pieces. Take it and wrap it in the center to make a butterfly, and then put your wings together and then fold the wings in half. Now you're going to crinkle up the bottom of the petal to make it look like a spoon/petal shape. Again, you're going to do this 4 to 5 times depending on how many petals that you want. Now that your petals are finished, bring back your 6-inch and 2-inch piece. Crumble your 2-inch piece into a ball and place it in the center of your 6-inch piece. And then you're going to wrap your 6-inch piece around the little ball that you just created, kind of making like a fire popper that you get there on the 4th of July. This is going to be the center of your flower. So take your petals and simply just wrap your petals around the center of your flower like you like. It doesn't have to be perfect. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I just prefer to put one on each side and then doing the exact opposite sides with my last petals. Once you get your petals where you want, you can hold your flower in your hand, and this is where you're going to twist your flower, your wire around your flower. This is the hardest part to me of making these corsages. Now ideally you would not want to do this when working with fresh flowers. We would use the piercing method when working with fresh flowers, but since these are paper flowers, we have to utilize the wire to hold together our flower. So this is the only exception to the rule. Make sure that when you're twisting that you pull tight on your wire as you twist, ensuring that you get all the petals underneath the wire. I like to wrap mine around 4 to 5 times, making sure that I pull tight every time that I twist. Once you twisted it around, leave some of your wire hanging out so that way you can create a stem. Fluff out your petals the way that you want. Make them look nice and neat, nice and flower-like. And then we're going to tape. So with your floral tape, you're simply going to hide your mechanics, hide that you wrap where you wrapped with wire, and tape about halfway down the wire to create a stem. I will be grading you accordingly to make sure that I can't see any wire or any of your paper that you used as a center of your flower. So please make sure that those are hidden. Again, we want to cover all our mechanics. You're going to need 6 petals, or excuse me, 6 flowers for your corsage. So once you have all 6 made, set those to the side. We are now going to be making our leaves. I cut my strips into 5 to 6 inches, just depending. I don't really measure, I just kind of eyeball how long I want them. I prefer using all green for my petals because I do want my corsage to look somewhat natural. But you can use any color that you like. I cut about 7 pieces to make 7 leaves. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, hamburger style, one way. Fold it in half, hot dial style, or excuse me, fold it in half, hamburger style again, and then fold it in half, hot dog style. So you should have folded it 3 times. Then you're going to simply cut it to be the length or the shape of a leaf. Now, here I did mess up my leaf a little bit, so I have to fix it to make it work right. I like to leave the tip of it somewhat still folded together. That way your leaf is a little thicker and it's more natural and it holds together. Now we're going to use the hairpin method. So what you do is you're going to pierce through the leaf in the center and come back through the other side like you're sewing. And then hairpin it down, just like we would a real leaf. Then you're going to take your tape and kind of maybe twist the bottom up a little bit, pinch it together, and tape it down the wire about halfway. This way, you're covering your mechanics and you're pretending like you're covering the stem of an actual leaf. Now, you do not need to tape all the way down the wire for both the petals and the leaves. Now we're going to be making our fringe flowers, our filler flowers. These are pretty simple. All you need to do is pick a different color from what your regular flowers were, fold in half 3 times, and then cut slits, tiny little slits to make fringes. Then I'm going to cut the top of it where it's folded, so making sure that it's fringy and funky looking, just to give it a little more dimension, a little more texture in my corsage. Now there are several different ways that you can make flowers, and if you want to try your hand at making different types of paper flowers, there are plenty of YouTube videos that you can utilize to incorporate into this corsage if you want. Or you can just make it simple and keep your fringes. And then once that you get your fringe the way that you like and it's all cut and ready to go, you're going to wire it just like you wired the original flowers. Simply just twist at the bottom and making sure that you're twisting tight and about 4 to 5 twists. leaving some wire hanging at the end. After you get it all wired, you're going to tape this as well. Again, make sure that you tape and cover your mechanics, and you do not have to tape all the way down the wire. Corsages need to be lightweight as possible, so there's no need for you to continue taping. Now you should have 7 leaves, 6 flowers, and about 3, maybe even 4 or 5 fringes, depending on what you want for your corsage. I prefer to tape leaves to a flower. I continue taping leaves to flowers. Now I will leave some, like 2 to 3 flowers without leaves, just so as I'm building my corsage, I can kind of eyeball where I might need a leaf later on. We are making the crescent corsage that's on TSFA's level 2 certification. For the rest of this video, I'm just going to kind of fast forward through it. If you know, the instructions are on TSFA, but you can kind of get the gist of how to make it, or if you need help making it, please feel free to contact me.